Hey everybody, welcome to emiser.com and for today's video blog post again. And this is actually part two of a series of how to go big, how to make your 2014 your best year ever starting today. I know like I said, we're in April. I said this yesterday. I know we're in April. It's almost the end of the first quarter on the calendar. Um, but I think from applying these strategies, you're really gonna enjoy. So stay tuned, and this part two series is gonna be talking about the game plan. So I'll see you in a second. All right. So yesterday we kind of dug in and we really defined goal setting, how to write down goals, some good goals you could use in your network marketing business, but essentially in life and anything, a brick and mortar business. I teach network marketing, so that's why I like to stem my videos for. But even if you have a regular business, if you're a normal brick and mortar business owner, an online and affiliate business owner, you still have to have those goals. And I talked how to write them down, how to put your dates next to them. And yeah, so that was yesterday. So now, hopefully, you were able to take some time last night, at least jot a couple of things down, because here in part two, we're going to talk about the game plan of how do we, how do we move on from these goals. All right, so without a game plan, you're really lost now. You could write down all the goals you want and have pages and pages and pages of goals, but if you don't have a game plan to carry out this action, that kind of hold you accountable, then it's going to make it kind of difficult to really achieve any of those goals. All right, so like I just said, game planning is key. Um, so there's two things you really want to focus on when you're creating a game plan. The one thing you want to focus on is strategy, and the second thing you want to focus on is uh, processes. What processes do you have to have in place in order to meet this goal? Um, what process do you need to have for those results to come true? And sometimes you just may have to create different processes. Other times, your company may have a process that you're just going to follow that process. Um, so once you get your process, Eric Worre talks about doing a burst, 90-day burst or 90-day game plan, but just a burst of energy. You get out there and you're gonna, if it's recruiting, you're gonna recruit, recruit, recruit. If it's, I don't know, content producing, you're gonna produce, produce, produce. If it's team building, you're gonna produce, 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 and train and educate your team, motivate them on how to recruit and how to make your team bigger. Um, so you really want to have a big burst of action to help get you closer to those results a little bit faster. All right, and then we're also going to talk about the activities. So as you're doing your burst of activity, what kind of activities are you going to have to do uh, to make your goals a reality? All right, so one thing that I like to do, I talked about writing down your goals yesterday, and I talked about putting a timeline on it. What I would do is take your calendar. This is my 2014 calendar, and if you look through this, I mean it's filled almost to the end of the year of just all kinds of different stuff. My goals are in here. Um, I have timelines in here. I have milestones in here. I have all kinds of stuff in my calendar, and I have it broken down into uh, weekly, monthly, and annual. So at the end of the year, this is where I want to be. I also have, for each individual goal, I have its own individual strategy or game plan. All right, so I strategize, what do I need to do to get to this next level? Well, I need to sponsor this many people. I need to sell this much product or this much service, and I need to train this many people on my downline how to do the same thing. So, and we're not going to go and talk about the next level. We're going to talk about the next two or three ranks. That's really where you want to be. So yeah, what do you have to do in order to achieve that? And I have all that written down, and I had that worked into a weekly, monthly, and annual phase as well. So I told you yesterday, this is work, but the work and reward for it is very worth it in the end. All right. So after you have your calendar marked out, this is going to take some time, but after you have your calendar marked out, you really want to stop and take a real good look at your associations. Who do you hang around with? Because that's really going to determine if you're going to be able to make or break anything you do in your either your business or whatever. If you have bad associations, people who are pulling you down, you're trying to go a different direction, and you have these people, these naysayers. You know, you can't do this. Uh, you're doing something different. Why? Stop doing that. You're never going to make it, right? And they're just pulling you down and dragging you down. You want to get away from them. All right, I talked about this in another video before. You want to get away from them. You know, you're working your tail off, and they're working even harder to make sure that you don't leave them. All right, change scares people, and your friends, if they, you know, we talk about broke Uncle Harry sometimes. Broke Uncle Harry doesn't want you to leave. He wants you to stay right there with him, so he doesn't feel as bad, right? I know the number one income earner in my company. He likes to always say, "Show me the 5 people you're going to hang around with. Show me the 5 people you hang around with, and I'll tell you who you're going to become." And it's so true. He used to say that to his basketball team, and it's so true. So instead of these people, you want to put yourself around influential people. All right, so top leaders in your company, become friends with them. People who are constantly going after the same goal, the same drive. You want to hang around with those people. People on Facebook who are network marketers, hang around with them. You don't have to try to recruit them. Just become a friend. Just become somebody who you can listen to. Somebody like me on my videos. Plug in the me. Plug in the Eric Warrior, or Todd Falcone, or Ray Higdon, or Jim Rohn, or whoever, Zig Ziglar. Buy their audio stuff, put it in your car, have it loop and loop and loop and loop, and never turn on that negative, cynical stuff on the news or whatever channel, APR or whatever it is that you listen to. It's setting your mind up for failure, all right, and that's not what we want to do. So lose those negative associations and start using, like I said, people like me, people like your upline leader who's devoted. Use those as positive associations. Use Jim Rohn as a positive association. All right, and you don't have to physically know them. That's why I'm kind of leading in there. Jim Rohn passed away. I never got a chance to meet him, but Jim Rohn passed away. I'll never meet him, but his work has lived on forever. So you're going to surround yourself with positive people, books, audios. Another Eric Warrior quote is to protect your mind. Right, I'm sorry, protect from negative and feed your mind with positive. And that's a very strong, powerful quote. I had to write that one down. The next thing you want to work on is going to be culture. You may have to, if you don't have a culture in your organization, you may have to create some cultures. If there are cultures in your organization, then if you're not following them, you may have to get on board with these certain cultures. And all leadership has, leadership all has its own certain culture, whether it's, we have a Sunday night conference call, team conference call every single Sunday night, you have to be on it. And that's when you have a new associate who comes on board, a new representative who comes on board, that you tell them that, and they have to be there. Everybody on my team goes to the company convention, whether it's the 2 smaller ones throughout the year, or whether it's the big one, the annual big convention. That's culture, and you tell them we all do this. We all go out and you're either in or you're not. Culture could be when you show up to a meeting or you show up to meet a prospect, you dress sharp. If you want to hang out with a group like us, you have to dress sharp. You have to have a nice button-down shirt, maybe a jacket. You have to look good. You have to look clean, presentable. That's just how we are. That's just what we do. All right? And that is a culture. You can have a recruiting culture. How many days it should take you to get your first paycheck. You know, in my company, we say 4 and 24. And that's going to trigger that first paycheck. That's a culture. All right, and that's what we teach everybody. Somebody who just comes on board, they don't know the difference. All right, so develop those cultures. Start getting them on board with your team, and then start just. This is how we do it when a new person pops on your downline, or you know, somebody you personally sponsor, or even if you can get your upline to support it. Culture, it's really going to help you out. All right, and yeah, like I said, it's the exception, not the rule for a culture oriented thing. Um, so you're going to write down your goals. You're going to go back and you're going to game plan for each goal. You know, what exactly is going to drive everything. And that's pretty much what the game plan is. All right, and it's going to take time. You're going to have to spend time doing it, but that's the game plan. All right, so tomorrow we're going to be back with the last part 3, and we're going to dig into habits. I talked a little bit about habits before. I just threw my book for some reason. It didn't hit my table. But I talked a little bit about habits before. Tomorrow we're really going to dig down deep into certain habits that you should have in order to make this your best year ever. Alright, so I hope you got value out of this video. Please like and share with your team. And you know, definitely leave a comment below. I love reading those. I definitely try to respond to each comment you leave me. So I do sincerely, I can't talk. I do sincerely appreciate that. Also, if you're looking for people to talk to about your network marketing business, please feel free to send me an email at emeisner@gmail.com, and I will get you my free 15 sources of network marketing leads for absolutely free. And that's pretty much it, guys, girls, friends, peoples. So I will see you tomorrow on part 3. I hope you enjoyed this and you guys have a fantastic night. Thanks. Bye.